Russia has unleashed a shadowy new spy unit tasked with sabotage, cyber attacks, and assassinations across Europe, Western intelligence officials say. The Department of Special Tasks, or SSD, is believed to be behind covert missions straight out of a Cold War thriller that includes botched assassination plots, explosive-laden aircraft, and cyber strikes designed to throw Western powers off balance. Intelligence sources believe the SSD was created in 2023, forged in the fires of the Ukraine war as Moscow ramped up its war against the West. Dr. Lance Hunter, a professor of international relations and intelligence expert at Augusta University, explained this isn't just another Russian intel unit. He said it is Frankenstein KGB 2.0, stitched together from multiple agencies and turned into a force that can strike anywhere, anytime, Dr. Hunter told The Sun. The SSD can be viewed somewhat similarly to the KGB under the Soviet Union. However, the SSD employs modern tactics such as cyber operations and operates within Russia's larger military intelligence structure. It attempts to consolidate different elements of Russia's intelligence services, often coordinating with and operating alongside other Russian special unit forces. Dr. Hunter added the SSD operates out of GRU's infamous headquarters in Moscow, dubbed the Aquarium, and is thought to include veterans from some of Russia's most audacious black ops. The unit has been linked to a string of high-stakes plots, including a failed hit on the CEO of a German arms company and a scheme to plant incendiary devices aboard DHL cargo planes, the Wall Street Journal reports. The Kremlin sees the West as fair game following attacks on its turf, ranging from the Nord Stream pipeline blasts to the assassinations of key officials inside Russia, Ukrainian outlet Pravda reports. With its usual flair for deniability, the Kremlin has denied any involvement in SSD operations. James Apathurai, NATO's Deputy Assistant Secretary General for Hybrid and Cyber, warned, Russia believes it is in conflict with what it calls the collective West and is acting accordingly, right up to threatening us with nuclear weapons. The SSD is believed to have swallowed up several rival factions within Russia's sprawling spy network. That includes powers previously held by the FSB and GRU Unit 29155, the same outfit blamed for the 2018 poisoning of Sergei Skripal on British soil. But this time, the playbook has evolved. Dr. Hunter explained the SSD blends old-school spycraft with modern tactics like cyber warfare and sabotage. Their agents are trained to move silently, strike hard, and vanish without a trace. And when something goes boom and no one knows who did it, chances are it's them. The SSD is made up of well-trained operators and undercover agents who are selected based on their ability to maneuver secretly in other countries, Dr. Hunter said. The unit often targets countries that support Ukraine or oppose Russia, including military assets, political dissidents, and infrastructure. It also frequently uses techniques that are difficult to track, employing numerous forms of offensive cyber operations to weaken its targets. Their three-pronged mission? Assassinations, infiltration, and recruitment. SSD agents are reportedly targeting Western universities and companies, while also poaching foreign operatives from countries aligned with Moscow, such as Serbia and parts of the developing world, according to the Wall Street Journal. They also oversee Senas, Russia's elite special ops training facility, turning out hardened operatives ready to deploy in hostile territory. The unit is run by Colonel General Andrei Avryanov, whose name is already infamous in espionage circles, and his deputy, Lieutenant General Ivan Kasyanenko. Czech authorities have issued an arrest warrant for Avryanov over a 2014 explosion at an ammunition depot. The EU slapped sanctions on SSD operatives in December, accusing them of orchestrating bombings, cyber attacks, and even attempted coups across Europe. Meanwhile, the U.S. has indicted multiple members and is offering a $10 million reward for information on 5 agents tied to cyber attacks against Ukraine. Activity peaked last summer, but things have gone suspiciously quiet since then. Despite a peak in SSD activity last summer, intelligence officials say Russian operations have recently slowed. The lull in activity could be aimed at creating diplomatic space for Moscow to negotiate with the new U.S. administration, the Wall Street Journal reported, citing 2 European intelligence chiefs. Dr. Hunter added, "It is tough to predict what to expect from the SSD in the months and years ahead. However, The success of Russian forces in Ukraine may have an impact on how Russia uses the SSD to project strength worldwide and attack rivals. Highly publicized SSD attacks may prompt Western and NATO countries to increase their coordination in order to counter the SSD.